Thanks, Alejandro. Hi, Mauricio. This is Jonathan Tannenwald of the Philadelphia Inquirer. As you've had time to look back over the Nations League, and as you went to start to pick the players on that preliminary list who you're thinking about bringing to the Gold Cup, how much, as you reflect now, looking back, did what you see there, what you liked, what you didn't like, influence the kind of players you want to have at the Gold Cup? Thank you.
Yes, yes. I think it's important, no, to have the clear idea what happened, no, in there. I think the circumstances were not the best circumstance, for us for different reasons, and I think our diagnosis is really clear, and it's a thing to talk now in the next camp. And of course, always you want to win and you want to build something in the victory, but even losing, I think we need to take many positive things, and because it's important how we assess our player, and after how we are going to combine our player to create this group and the core of the player that is going to be in the World Cup. That is the main objective. But I think it was an important experience, and that is going to be completely different. But I think with the knowledge that we have now, and how we saw the team to compete, and I think yes, to try now to also to be better for us, like a coaching staff, to provide the player better platform, better tool for them to compete. I think it's important also to be autocritic with because here is not to criticize one part of the team, is only to say that we are all part of the when we fail, no, in March in Los Angeles, but it's important now to fix all together now. But the first thing is to talk about the reality that happened there. That's a great opportunity. I think we are all positive, and I think it's a great opportunity to be together for a long time, and that is going to be very useful for us.
Thank you, Coach. Stephen Goff is up next. Stephen Goff, please.
Hi, Mauricio.
Hello.
Question for you about the Reina and the players, the Juventus players as well. Was there any discussion at all about any of those players not participating in Club World Cup and instead perhaps playing in Gold Cup? Did you talk to Juventus or to Dortmund about that possibility?
I think we had too many communication with everyone, and I think to take the final decision, I think in few days you will see where we are going with our decision, and I think a few days more that you need to wait, and then 4th of June to have the final roster for the Gold Cup. I think we were taking all the arguments, and of course we were assess all the individual situations, and we are going to take the best decision for every single player. And of course the principal objective is the national team, because I think all is important, no, in the same level, the national team, the expectation, to manage the expectation, and also to manage all the individual situation that demand, no, to put attention in all our prayer. But of course it's a thing that you will know in few days.
Jeff Carlisle, please.
Yes, thank you. Hello, Mauricio.
Hello, Jeff. How are you?
Good. Wanted to ask you about Serginho Dest. He's a player who obviously was coming off of a major injury. He's back in the field, in little bits. How eager are you to get him into camp, to see him, and what are your expectations for what he can give your team?
Well, I think it's another player that we want to touch, that we want to see with us, that we want to know in our environment. I think Serginho Dest is a player that we really know, and it's a player that, like all the rest of the players that are going to be involved in the squad on the roster, important player, they need to feel that all can be important. But of course, Serginho is going to be.
On se rappelle dans un moment, je suis en interview là, sur le site de la CONCACAF.
Sorry that.
Somebody's talking there. Can we please mute your phones? Thank
I
you. We
think
appreciate it.
Thank you. I can keep going, no? I think Serginho he wasn't with us in the previous camp because he was injured. And now it's a lot of communication, our coaching staff, of course, about the medical staff and performance area, working with PSV to try to find the best way to help him, because also he came from an injury and of course he's playing the last few weeks. Yes, it's another thing that we are going to, to pay attention in an individual way with all the circumstances, agree with the team, with the PSV, and to take the best decision for him, thinking not only in today, if not thinking also in the future of him and in the future of the national team, no?
Felipe Cárdenas, adelante, Felipe Cárdenas.
Gracias. ¿Qué tal, Mauricio? Felipe Cárdenas con
tal, Felipe?
¿Cómo está? Muy bien,
Muy
gracias. O sea, se sabe que para un torneo el objetivo es ganar partidos, mejorar y ganar el torneo también, pero le pregunto a usted como técnico ¿cuál es el objetivo suyo personalmente como técnico? ¿Ver una mejoría en términos de actitud o ver una evolución táctica del equipo y los jugadores particulares? Gracias.
Bueno, yo creo que las dos cosas van ligadas, ¿no? Un mejor rendimiento hace que el desempeño táctico sea mucho más óptimo, ¿no? Yo creo que eso es evidente. No se puede tener un buen desempeño táctico si no hay una buena aportación individual, ¿no?, de los jugadores. Entonces, teniendo a los jugadores en el mejor nivel, cualquier desarrollo táctico que propongas siempre va a ser mucho mejor, ¿no? Va a tener su brillantez. Yo creo que como objetivo, como entrenador, siempre es darles a los jugadores las mejores herramientas para que puedan rendir, y a través de eso un desarrollo táctico, un planteamiento táctico donde todo el mundo se encuentre en sus mejores posiciones para poder rendir de la mejor manera y poder estar más cerca de ganar partidos. Al nosotros comenzar tampoco hace mucho tiempo y haber tenido mucho tiempo de ver a todos los jugadores que cada uno tiene sus propias circunstancias, hacen que vayamos un poquito por detrás. Pero creo que esto es una buena oportunidad para nosotros para tener tiempo para trabajar con muchos jugadores que ya trabajamos y con algunos otros jugadores, o con muchos también jugadores que no hemos podido tener por problemas de lesiones individuales, lesiones o problemas también de que no han podido venir. Así que, bueno, yo creo que esto es un poco de todo, ¿no? Construir, si se gana, mucho mejor, pero también sabiendo que el objetivo principal, como todo el mundo lo sabe, es que lleguemos en las óptimas condiciones en nuestra Copa del Mundo, en la Copa del Mundo, donde vamos a recibir a esta Copa conjuntamente con México y Canadá, que vamos a ser los organizadores, y yo creo que todos nosotros, más la gente, yo creo que tiene el foco en eso, ¿no?
Daniel Schwartzman, adelante.
Muchas gracias, Alex. Te mando un abrazo. Mauricio, ¿cómo estás? Muy buenas tardes.
¿Qué tal, Daniel?
¿En qué es lo que más te pretendes enfocar en el camp, en los partidos amistosos previos, en esos días que tendrás a los jugadores? ¿Algo en particular? ¿Qué es lo que más te motiva a trabajar durante ese tiempo?
Bueno, yo creo que lo más importante es confeccionar un grupo en estos dos partidos amistosos. Más allá de que cada jugador aproveche su oportunidad, es construir un grupo para jugar la Gold Cup y competir de la mejor manera posible. Yo creo que eso es el objetivo nuestro. Viendo un poco las circunstancias individuales de cada jugador, vamos a crear un roster que sea un roster que bastante similar al que vamos después a encontrar en la CONCACAF, y que preparemos al equipo para competir en una competición oficial como la Gold Cup, que sería importante para nosotros tener un buen rendimiento.
Ronald Bloom, go ahead, please. Thank you.
There, now I'm unmuted. Hi, Mauricio. Thanks for doing
Hi,
this.
Ronald. How are you?
Hi, good. Are you concerned that Matt hasn't played in a game in 2 months since the Nations League? And does he remain your number one goalkeeper going into the Gold Cup?
Oh, I think we are going to have four keepers, no, in these two friendly games and then in the Gold Cup, because the Gold Cup is allowed us to have 26. I think it's like always for me, it's about how they are going to train, and also we are assessing another player. I think we are going to have games enough to try to give maybe the possibility to another keeper to maybe to play, but that is not today the decision. And of course, until now, Matt was our number one choice, but that can change. I think it's true that he's not playing, and we were talking with him, and we translate the idea of that for the future. In 1 year time, I think he need to find a way, to compete every week, because if not, it's going to be a little bit, delayed with the rest of the teammate. But I think, yes, it's open now. And in our mind, it's open to maybe, for another, player, maybe to challenge in between them, and maybe to try to give the possibility to play for another player, like was in January camp, how Patrick or Zach, they had the opportunity to play. Matt Fries didn't have, but maybe they can have the possibility to play now. And of course, they are a little bit in advantage because they were competing in the last few months from March. And we see it's all decision and see how they are.
Donald Wine. Donald Wine is up next.
Thank you. Hi, Mauricio. Thank you for your time.
Hi, Donald. You're welcome.
I want to ask about the friendlies coming up against Turkey and Switzerland. With the Gold Cup being a week later, do you plan on using those games with just your Gold Cup squad, or do you imagine bringing in other guys for a little bit of competition to narrow down those final spots?
Yes, I think we were talking a lot, and we were, trying to be, in the way that we were going to settle the scene is, I think, under our consideration, the percentage is going to be high. The player that going to be involved in the first two friendly games and then in the Gold Cup, because I think it's a logic maybe decision, because I think if you want to prepare the Gold Cup, I think you need your players, being fit, in the competition, involved in the competitions, in training, and because all the leagues, they were finished, some leagues last week, and now they are finished now. I think to keep the player fit always is a challenge thing. It's very challenging, and that is why we analyze all the circumstances. I'm going to try to be right in our decision. But specific in your question, I think it's going to be a high percentage of the player that are going to be involved in the first two friendly games, that after to be involved in the Gold Cup.
Renee Davis. Renee Davis, go ahead.
Hi, Mauricio. Renee Davis with
Hi,
Viva Deportes Media Group. Considering the intense competition within CONCACAF, when you're putting together a national team and you bring in players that haven't played together, what are the challenges of making them a cohesive team and warriors on the field?
Yes, always is more difficult when you don't have time, like it was in the national in Los Angeles in March. That is more difficult because only you have few training sessions, and when you bring too many new players to build the way to play and to build, the feelings and the confidence in between them, and it's always more difficult. I think the advantage now is that we are going to spend a long period all together. I think even if it's going to be a group that maybe they didn't play together, for too many players that maybe they are going to know and showing for first time in the camp in Chicago. I think it's going to be good because we are going to have time to prepare and to create these, links and emotion in between them and complicity. And that is why we are excited, to be there and start to work as soon as possible.
Last question for Coach Pochettino.
Thank you.
Abram Noodles Jer, go ahead, please.
Hola, profe. Buenas tardes.
Hola.
Gracias por tu tiempo.
Hola, Iván.
Hablando del Dallas Morning News. Profe, le quería preguntar, ¿cree que es una falta de respeto por parte de la FIFA organizar el Mundial de Clubes al mismo tiempo o en las mismas fechas que la Copa Oro y eso hace que ustedes tengan que pelear por jugadores?
Totalmente de acuerdo. No diría a lo mejor una palabra tan fuerte, ¿no? Como respeto, ¿no? O falta de respeto, pero sí que es una situación que fuerza a un equipo como Estados Unidos o quizás México o Canadá o Panamá, que tiene a los mejor jugadores envueltos en esta competición, al final a prescindir de jugadores que podrían estar. Porque al final, teniendo una competición tan importante como la Gold Cup, hay muchos jugadores que seguramente todos nosotros, entrenadores, pensamos en la Copa del Mundo y la posibilidad de tener casi un mes o más de un mes estando juntos previamente al Mundial, que va a ser el periodo quizás más importante a un año vista. Es verdad que teniendo esta competición, es una competición que no deja en una situación buena, ¿no? Paralelamente, ¿no? En el mismo tiempo, ¿no?
Gracias.
Placer.
Thank you very much, Coach Mauricio Pochettino. Un fuerte abrazo.
Muchas gracias.
La conversación.
Muchas
Estados
gracias.
Unidos
Placer.
ha ganado la Copa Oro 7 veces, van por la 8ª. Suerte y éxito este próximo verano. Thank you,
Muchas gracias.
Mauricio.